Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the daily money clip for today. Now, I want to talk to you today about a very important topic, and that topic is diversification. Okay, so I've done some videos on how I invest, I've done some videos on why I don't use the stock market. And a big thing that I get back from people is, well, what about diversification and spreading the risk? And so I want to go over what that means, and I want to kind of draw out for you today why I don't diversify. Now, a couple of quotes I want to give you. The first one is from Mark Cuban, a billionaire, says diversification is for idiots. Okay, that's not my quote, that's Mark Cuban's quote. Another one from Warren Buffett is diversification is for those who do not know what they are doing. Now I want to explain what that means. When I was a financial advisor, we used to tell people all the time to diversify. Okay, so we would explain it like this. We would say, all right, so you've got your money in your stocks or your investments, and you're going to put them into, let's say an example here would be a window pane, right? So you've got a window and your money is this window, and you're out playing baseball and a ball goes right through your window, right? And so you have this hole now in the window, it's cracked, and the entire window is broken because you didn't have panes. That was the example we would use. We'd say not having window panes is like not diversifying. Now, what we would tell people is I would then show them, okay, well, if you had window panes and you had it broken down into different sections and the ball went through and it hit a pane, right? This pane would crack, but these other ones, they would all be fine. And so that would be the reason to diversify. That used to be what I would actually tell people. And that's a big thing financial advisors use. Now, here's the problem. Investing is not playing baseball. There's a big difference. Okay. So investing actually happens in levels, and it works more similarly to like building a house, right? So if I was building a house and I'm following my blueprint and I know what my house is supposed to look like, I'm not going to say, what if one of the walls falls down? Let me throw in a bunch of extra ones. No, because the walls that I need are the walls that I need. So I'm going to have walls in the house, and those walls are part of the blueprint. Either they're serving a purpose or they're not. They're either there for aesthetics or support, but adding more walls doesn't prevent me from having my walls collapse. Here's a better idea. How about I just build the house in a way where the walls don't collapse? You see what I mean? So the only reason I would add walls needlessly to a house is if I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. Same thing with raising kids. Okay. Let's use that as an example. Let's say I have a kid, and I'm like, this is my kid, and I'm afraid that he might go to jail. Right. So my solution is, well, let me just go have a bunch of other ones. If I have a bunch of other kids, then I'm less likely to have a higher concentration of kids that go to jail. So I'm going to go have a bunch of kids. Right. That wouldn't make sense because I'm in charge of what happens to this kid. If he goes to jail, it means I didn't know how to parent, right? So adding a bunch of other kids into the mix doesn't make it to where this one's not going to go to prison. If he's going to go to prison, that's kind of on me and on him, right? So this idea of diversification really is, for lack of better words, it's a coping mechanism. It's for people that don't actually know how to invest. And so because they don't actually know how to invest, they end up needing all of these other items in their life to diversify and try and fix the fact that they're risking their money and putting it into things that they can't control. So for me, I don't diversify. Okay. I start like this. Number one, I first get rid of all of my debt, my consumer debt. That's what I first did. And I used life insurance to do that. Okay. So I put all of my excess cash in life insurance. I don't need to diversify because life insurance can't lose and it always gains. Paying off debt, I don't need to diversify outside of that. There's nothing bad that can happen to me there. Once I've paid off my debt, then I start buying gold and silver. Okay. And I've now got life insurance, and I've got some cash, and I've got gold and silver. Right. Now you could look at that and say, well, Jerry, that's diversifying. You have three asset classes. Yeah, but I didn't do it for the sake of diversifying. It just naturally is what you do. So then I get gold and silver. I stack up in there. I use that to borrow against and buy real estate. I now add a fourth asset. I have real estate now. Okay. So you might look at that again and say, Jerry, that's diversifying. No, it's not. Okay. Because I'm not spreading the risk. I'm actually just doing something in sequential order. And by happenstance of doing that, I end up with a variety of assets. But here's the difference. My way, all of the assets align. They make sense. Okay. They go together. I understand them. I have control over them. They're part of a formulated plan. With diversifying, that's not the case. You just have a bunch of assets for the sake of having a bunch of assets. They don't go together. They don't make sense. Most people have no idea what they have. If you have a stock or mutual fund portfolio and you have, let's say, 5 funds, and each of those funds has 20 or 30 different stocks, you have 100 to 150 different stocks. Okay. To me, that's more risky. That's more risky to have 100 to 150 things that I have to pay attention to. Even if it's real estate, if I have 100 different properties, that's more potential risk because there are more places where things could go wrong. So that is my video today. I want to wrap up on that note. If you have questions on this, shoot me an email. If you'd like to learn more about what I do, you can reach out to me. If you would like to get a free copy of my book, How to Create Wealth, where I will give you more detail on how to invest properly, go to www.jerryfetta.com. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you next time.